Hello, good day. Welcome to the Diary of a Pan-African Preacher. There is an Igbo proverb that says, the firewood in a community gets the community's food done. 46 years ago, I became a preacher in South London, England. Every Sunday for the next 2 years, I found a plethora of African and Caribbean church members at the altar crying before God for his intervention. I discovered that the root of their requests for God's help and an answer to their prayers was an economic cause. I've learned over the years that there is a link between poverty and health, between poverty and education, between poverty and employment, between poverty and spending habits, and between poverty and spirituality. In the first 5 years of my pastoral ministry, I journeyed to 6 African countries and 4 Caribbean countries and several states in the United States of America. And there I saw a familiar pattern of persons of African birth and descent at the bottom of the economic ladder. I soon discovered that to dedicate my life to serving Africans on the African continent or in the African diaspora was to commit myself to addressing economic challenges. As I began to rightly divide the word of truth, I discerned that there are political, economic, historical, and social forces devoted to keeping persons of African birth and descent impoverished. There is therefore an economic trajectory that is required, and that requires spiritual discipline, biblical discernment, and communal discipline in order to address the devilish impact of financial inequity and economic illiteracy. I became aware that poverty is man-made. Hence, Jesus was spot on when he said, "Poor people you will always have with you." Furthermore, I also became aware that many of us Africans are not aware of the power in our hands to address the intergenerational and multidimensional poverty that hangs over our communities. So for 40 plus years, I've dedicated myself to discovering some principles for the economic elevation of my people. My primary assets were the Bible, the Christian Church, and African cultural practices such as Ajo or Isuzu, or the Caribbean partner. Here are 3 principles I discovered. First, whenever you spend or wherever you spend your income, however small or large, there you generate financial skills, productive labor, and wealth creation. Second, the pooling of family, group, and community skills and incomes around trust and collaboration creates group upward mobility. And the third area is that collective vision determines the level of communal economic penetration. 46 years after my first appointment as a youth minister in South London, I was privileged to attend the launch of the first Black church bank in the United Kingdom, the Pentecostal Community Bank, a testimony to the successful application of the three economic principles utilized by this Pan-African preacher. Ashe.